Hey, welcome back to another day of the Fendick Theater Experience. I'm Blake.
I'm Sydney.
Let's get started.
Today's performance target is we will learn a brief history about musical theater.
This is what I've been waiting for.
I know, it's so exciting, isn't it?
In yesterday's video, we talked about the history of Broadway itself. Today, we're going to talk about what most people love the most about Broadway. The musicals! Oh, let's not dawdle any longer. The anticipation is killing me.
Today, we're going to start off with vaudeville.
Now, vaudeville was the first time that singing and dancing together were considered an act.
That's right, vaudeville actually helped to bridge the gaps between the upper and lower classes that the riot in 1849 caused.
Vaudeville was a form of entertainment that people from all backgrounds could enjoy.
And vaudeville didn't start off in theaters. They would actually go and travel to perform. But then people started opening up theaters specifically for vaudeville acts, such as the Palace Theater.
It's interesting though, vaudeville was never just one thing. A vaudeville production had many different types of acts in it.
These acts ranged from singing and dancing, specifically tap dancing,
to magicians, animal trainers, odd and unusual things that you would see in a circus. All these different types of acts all encompassed one theater for a vaudeville production.
How did vaudeville look on Broadway?
Well, Broadway was known for having the biggest and the most successful vaudeville productions. The Ziegfeld Follies opened in 1907 and stayed open until 1931.
There was even a period of time where the Ziegfeld Follies had two productions running simultaneously on Broadway.
To this day, it's still considered one of the most successful Broadway productions ever.
But what the Ziegfeld Follies was just one huge big vaudeville show.
That's right. Through the show's 24-year run, the show was constantly changing as certain vaudeville acts became more popular.
You'd never see the same show twice, so audiences would keep coming back.
What made this specific show so compelling was the best acts always referenced the American experience at the time. So shows that would make lightness of very depressing things like World War I and the Great Depression. Vaudeville slowly started to change in 1927 when The Jazz Singer was released in the movie theaters. Now, this film was the first movie to ever have synchronized sound, and after that point, all movies had sound, and those movies were called the talkies.
After the talkies grew more and more popular, audiences wanted to go to live theater that was similar to what they were seeing in movie theaters, which was huge dance numbers and a simple story that just made them laugh.
Theaters started to perform operettas, which were just short operas that would contain some dialogue and some fun dance numbers.
A common operetta today would be The Pirates of Penzance.
So this was when we made the shift from variety shows in theater to theater that would start to tell an entire story. Broadway drastically changed when Oklahoma opened on Broadway in 1943.
Broadway audiences had seen musical comedies, shows that showcased talent in dance numbers, and just have a simple story, such as the musicals How Joey and Anything Goes.
And Broadway audiences had also seen dramas. These were musicals that usually showcased operatic talent and usually had a dramatized story, such as Showboat and Porgy and Bess.
But Oklahoma was different.
Oklahoma was a comedy and a drama. It had a full story with a variety of interesting characters. The songs and dances weren't just there to entertain, but they were also there to help push the story along towards the next scene.
It was something audiences had never seen before.
Broadway was never the same after Oklahoma.
Almost immediately, Broadway changed to that format of storytelling.
And these new musicals were household names.
Songs from Broadway musicals were what was playing on the radio. They were as popular as Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and John Legend are now.
As years went by and times would change, so would musicals.
Similar to how audiences were more drawn to the vaudeville acts that were relatable to the current events of the time, audiences sought out musicals that were relatable to what was going on in their world.
Musicals continue to push boundaries and introduce audiences to new stories and new ways of storytelling.
The best musicals are the ones where the audiences feel connected to the show's stories and characters.
The Phantom of the Opera has been running on Broadway for more than 30 years. What brings audiences back more than just the beautiful music in the show is the fact that the story is just a simple love triangle in an epic setting.
Wicked takes the story of the Wizard of Oz and shifts the lens to look at Glinda the Good Witch's friendship to the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba.
Now, what Wicked does is it takes material that most people are familiar with and completely changes our perspective when we see the friendship between these two witches.
Lastly, we have to mention the most current musical phenomenon,
Hamilton! Now, what Hamilton does is it takes the history of Alexander Hamilton and tells his story through music that has the genres that are more popular today.
Like pop, R&B, soul, and rap.
Doing this makes Hamilton more universal to the general public, making history then relevant to the history now. On a more personal note, I love musicals. I find the art form of musicals absolutely amazing. I could talk to you all day just about musicals, but I'm going to stop for now with this episode. But if you want to continue talking about musicals, because I love talking about musicals, comment below and we'll get back to you. Before we move on to our next video, which is the last part of choreography for our Footloose dance, I wanted to take a moment to remind everyone that as of today, a filmed version of the musical Hamilton is available to stream on Disney+.
This film has the entire show with the original cast in it, and it gives you a chance to watch a musical.
Due to the fact that most theaters are closed at this moment, I highly encourage that you take this opportunity to watch some real theater.
The show's rated PG-13, so make sure you either watch it with your parents or make sure you have their permission.
Make sure to make some popcorn so you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Make a creation of you either watching the show or telling us your thoughts about the show.
We can't wait to hear what you think. Click on the next video so that you can learn the last part of choreography for our dance, Footloose.
Make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram and hit that subscribe button.
Thanks for learning and creating with us. Peace!